Hi, boys and girls. Well, today for math, we're going to learn about comparing length and height. Your height is like how tall you are, right? When you look at your swimming pool or a swimming pool, you can see how long it is. Well, do you know even in the Bible, it talks about comparing heights? And so I'm going to read to you about David and Goliath on page 173 in our Bible storybook. And if you want to get it to follow along, that's fine. We're going to read about David and Goliath. What do we already know about David and Goliath? Who was Goliath? Was he a small man or was he a giant? And then we have David, who was a boy. So he was probably small, right? Not nearly as tall. So let's read the story and see what happens. The Philistines were enemies of God. Their army came to fight King Saul's army. A giant soldier named Goliath yelled, "Bring out your best soldier to fight me. If your strongest soldier defeats me, we will be your slaves." He boomed, "If I defeat him, you will be our slaves." King Saul's soldiers were afraid. They did not want to fight the giant. Meanwhile, we have young David, who was taking food to his brothers. They were soldiers in King Saul's army. When David reached the camp, he saw Goliath. David heard the giant's challenge. "I am not afraid to fight the giant," said David. King Saul called for David and told him, "You cannot fight the giant. You are too young." David replied, "God will be with me." And when God's with us, do we ever have to be afraid? No. King Saul gave his armor to David, but it was big and heavy. David wasn't used to wearing armor. David went to a nearby stream and picked up 5 stones. He stood before Goliath. The giant laughed at him, but David didn't care. He said, "I come before you in the name of the Lord who rules over all." David put a stone in his sling and ran toward the giant. Then he let the stone fly. It hit Goliath's forehead and he fell to the ground. The Philistines saw that their hero was dead. They ran away. So even though there was a huge size difference in the height of Goliath and David, did God still use David? Yes. Just like because you're 5 and 6 and 7 years old, guess what? God can still use you too. So don't ever underestimate the plans that God has for you. Okay, boys and girls? Okay, well today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about comparing the length and the height of things. So I have a piece of yarn right here, right? This is the height, right? And if we put this way, it's the length. So if we compare the height of this one and this one, which one is longer? Is it A or B? Say it out loud. That's right, A is longer and B is shorter, right? So we're going to take a look at some things on this Cool Smart activity just to compare things longer and shorter and to put things in order. So let's go to the next one. All right, it says here, arrange pictures from longest to shortest, okay? So if we have, let me see, I think there's a little extra down here. Let's see what happens. Oh, look at this. We've got a sand castle down there. Okay, so we have here, which one, so the longest would be the one that is kind of like the very biggest here, right? So we're gonna say this is the longest. Which one comes next, A or B? Tell me real loud. I heard you say B. So we're gonna put this here. And then this one is the littlest one, and we're gonna put it right there. Great job. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, is that one not gonna work here? I can use my arrows up here. Okay, which lines are shorter? Okay, so we're gonna see. Is it A or B? Which one is shorter? I hear people saying A. Let's move it and see. Oh.
Great work.
Did you?
Chosen the shorter line.
Did you hear it? It's a great work. You have chosen the shortest line. Okay, how about here? Which one is shorter? 1 piece of cheese or 3? What do you think? You are right.
Great work. You have chosen the shorter line.
Now we have that little guy, he's smiling at us and the computer saying great work. But I don't know if you guys can hear on there or not. Next, which one is shorter? A or B? Very good. You guys are so smart. Okay, we're gonna build a wall to match the wall already built. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to measure how many blocks high it is. So let's count together. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 blocks high. And we have 1 here, so how many more do we need to have? If this one has 5, and we already have 1, how many more blocks do we need? 4. So let's add them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it the same size on both sides? That's right. We have 5 blocks. Okay. I think you guys will be able to do the rest on your own. When you do it on the front side of the page, you're gonna say which one is longer, and you're gonna circle them, okay? And then on the back, you're gonna circle which one is shorter, okay? So I hope you guys have a great day. I love you. Bye.